Lourenço tem medo. 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 Esse país é nosso. Não podemos aceitar o abuso do imperialismo. Não podemos aceitar o abuso do imperialismo. O bagulho quer passar!
For the second day in a row, the Angolan capital witnessed scenes of chaos. Burning barricades, flaming trash bins, and a heavy police presence on the streets. Security forces were struggling to regain control. But anger is brewing, sparked by the government's sudden decision to raise fuel prices. Angola may be Africa's second largest oil producer, but millions live in poverty. The hike has hit public transport hard.
Welcome to Vox Africa News, your international source for in-depth, fact-based reporting and analysis on critical developments shaping Africa's present and future. For comprehensive coverage that cuts through narratives and presents the facts, you are in the right place. Before today's report begins, we invite you to like this video, subscribe to Vox Africa News, and share this analysis with others seeking clarity on complex African issues. Activate notifications to stay updated on all future reports. Angola is rising. What is currently unfolding in the country? Why have thousands of Angolan citizens taken to the streets, demanding the resignation of President João Lourenço? This is not an isolated protest. It reflects a growing national movement and marks a turning point in Angola's post-Civil War political trajectory. At its core is public frustration with economic hardship, perceived governance failure, and a widening disconnect between state institutions and the population. Demonstrations have spread across Luanda and other key cities in recent days. The immediate trigger appears to be a government decision to increase diesel prices in early July 2025. Yet, beneath this catalyst lies a deeper and more complex dissatisfaction. The fuel subsidy removal, implemented as part of fiscal reform efforts, led to a 30% hike in diesel prices from approximately 300 to 400 kilowatts per liter. The intention, according to government sources, was to reduce state expenditure amid declining oil revenues. However, the impact was immediate and severe. Transportation costs surged, food prices spiked, and the overall cost of living became unsustainable for a large segment of the population.
For the second day in a row, the Angolan capital witnessed scenes of chaos. Burning barricades, flaming trash bins, and a heavy police presence on the streets. Security forces were struggling to regain control. But anger is brewing, sparked by the government's sudden decision to raise fuel prices. Angola may be Africa's second largest oil producer, but millions live in poverty. The hike has hit public transport hard, and with it, the livelihoods and daily costs for many Angolans.
I came to show solidarity with the Angolan people. People are suffering. We have to protest and show support. You see, the cost of living keeps rising, and we don't know what things will look like in the days to come.
This is where we say enough. We can't keep changing course every time. Whenever this happens, we won't stop. We'll keep going.
At least 4 people have been killed since the protests began. Shops have been looted and vandalized. Police say they've arrested hundreds of people. A major taxi drivers association has condemned the violence, but vowed to continue the 3-day strike, saying the voice of the taxi drivers reflected the anger of the Angolan people.
This development prompts a broader question. How can a country that is one of Africa's largest oil producers face domestic energy crises that disproportionately affect its own people? For many Angolans, the removal of subsidies was not merely an economic adjustment. It was a symbol of long-standing inequality. Critics argue that Angola's natural resource wealth has consistently failed to translate into equitable development.
Everywhere in Africa, we are tired. Africans don't get anything good out of the resources that we have. The only thing we can get is tax increment. Increment of things here and there. Massive demonstration in Angola. The citizens, the Gen Zs, are saying they have had enough of the president. They have had enough of the president. Increment here and there. There is nothing like reduction of anything. The people are protesting because there is hike in fuel prices. They say, what is it? Today you increase that, tomorrow you increase that. Why? Why are you increasing the fuel today? Life is becoming unbearable for us. We cannot afford to do anything. Is it a better Angola you promise us? After we finish giving you the mandate, you then come and all you do is increasing things to make life unbearable for us. So the people are saying they are tired. Everywhere, hardship. Life has become so expensive for them. And they can no longer keep quiet. So they want the world to hear what they are going through. This thing is happening everywhere in Africa. But other people will now use a party to cover things up. But Angola is saying that when things have gotten to, they are one people, they only have one Angola. They don't know any party. Africans, we are so tired about our leaders. Increasing this, increasing that, every day increment. They'll go to IMF and IMF will even be praising them for all the things that they put in place to keep on extorting money from us. And these things are benefiting other people. Can the government do something to subsidize prices of things for other people? We are seeing that in Mali. We are seeing it in Niger. We are seeing it in Burkina. Why is it that it's only the democratically elected countries that every day things are increasing? And life is becoming so unbearable for the citizens. And when we finish the call, you all come back into oppression. Because when we are under the system, it benefits their masters. It is high time we stop all these things. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in Angola.
Decades of oil exports have not yielded sufficient investment in social infrastructure, and corruption remains a persistent concern. As protests intensified, public demands shifted. The call was no longer just to reverse the fuel policy. It evolved into direct calls for President João Lourenço to step down. This pivot signals a loss of confidence in the current administration. Once viewed as a reform-minded leader, President Lourenço is now being associated with continuity of elite-centered governance. His party, the MPLA, in power since independence, is being challenged by a new generation that is increasingly disillusioned with traditional politics. The government's response to the protests has drawn significant concern. over 1,200 individuals have reportedly been arrested. At least 22 fatalities have been confirmed, with additional reports of injuries resulting from security crackdowns. Witnesses and independent observers have documented the use of tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition in crowd control efforts. These actions raise key questions regarding the limits of state authority and the boundaries of lawful protest. When peaceful demonstrations are treated as public threats, it invites scrutiny of the government's democratic credentials. One defining feature of the current movement is its demographic composition. Angola's youth, including university students and unemployed graduates, are playing a central role. They are not only participating, but leading the discourse, organizing protests, and demanding accountability. Their central message is unambiguous. There is frustration with decades of governance that, in their view, has failed to deliver opportunity, fairness, or responsiveness. They are not merely calling for policy reform, they are questioning the system itself. As the demonstrations grow, so does the perception that the state apparatus is prioritizing political survival over public dialogue. The continued reliance on security forces rather than civil engagement suggests a government under pressure, yet unwilling to adjust course. Despite the scale and significance of the protests, international reaction has been limited. Angola's economic ties, particularly in the oil and diamond sectors, may explain the cautious posture adopted by major global actors. There has been no major diplomatic intervention and no broad-based condemnation. This raises a broader geopolitical concern. Are issues of human rights and democratic accountability selectively emphasized based on strategic interests? Within Angola, the moment is being interpreted by many as a national inflection point. The convergence of economic distress, youth mobilization, and political rejection is creating a potential catalyst for systemic change. Observers are watching closely. Will this result in tangible policy reforms? Could it lead to electoral realignment? Or is Angola on the verge of entering a deeper period of political confrontation? These are the questions shaping the country's immediate future. Vox Africa News continues to monitor developments and will provide ongoing, balanced coverage as the situation unfolds. Disclaimer: this program is intended strictly for informational and analytical purposes. All commentary is based on publicly available data and verifiable sources at the time of publication. Vox Africa News does not promote incitement, political bias, or violence of any form. All content is protected under fair use principles for journalism and public interest reporting. Viewers are encouraged to engage respectfully and think critically about the issues discussed. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay critical, and stay connected to reliable African reporting. See you in the next report.